Today on 9 News Mornings, families of the victims of the KUSA shooting in Boulder say they're outraged after waiting for years to collect donations they say belong to them.
Today is Holocaust Remembrance Day, and we're hearing from one survivor who hopes her story will inspire others to be kinder and more empathetic.
And we start this morning taking a live look outside. The warm weather is coming. Chris Bianchi has some great news for us about the warm-up that's happening. Good morning, I'm Mark Salinger here along with Anusha Roy.
Yeah, let's get right to Chris, because Chris, the warm weather also is a little bit of an indicator that something else might be coming our way down the line.
Yeah, we'll worry about that next Friday and Saturday, right? We just had that kind of yucky weather yesterday. We had some of those rain and snow showers yesterday, but of course for today, it's gonna be so nice, and really for the next few days as well. I'm gonna kind of also pick out something that's kind of unusual about this warm up as we head through the next few days. It's going to be accompanied by light winds. Normally this time of year, when we get these temperatures into the 50s and the 60s, it's because of those stronger winds. But today's and through the next few days, those winds will be light, which is a little bit unusual. So gorgeous sunshine for today. We'll be in the 50s and 60s for the next 6 days, including today. High temperature right around 50 for us here in Denver. Again, those light winds thanks to a big ridge of high pressure that is anchored right over us. That should keep us on the mild and, again, light wind side for the next little while. Highs today, 40s, 50s, Eastern Plains. Average high for today is 45 degrees for us here in Denver. So we'll be a couple degrees above the average. Lots of sunshine for today. By the way, 10 hours of sunlight today for the first time, get this, for since about 6 weeks. So starting to see more and more of that sunshine. We've gained about 35 minutes of sunlight since the winter solstice about a month ago.
Very exciting.
Well, just in this morning, the El Paso County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting involving officers there in Colorado Springs. Right now, it's not really clear whether officers shot at someone or someone shot at them. We're working to look and get more information, as well as if anybody was hurt and what led up to that shooting. We'll keep you updated here on air as well as online as we learn more.
This morning, a man is in jail after police say he fired several shots inside a hotel room. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office got a call around 9 o'clock last night about a person who had been shot at the Holiday Inn in Littleton. When they got there, they didn't actually find anyone with a gunshot wound. The Sheriff's Office says that there was a physical fight between a man and a woman inside a hotel room, and that the man fired at least 4 times inside the room. The Jeffco Sheriff's Office asked people staying at the hotel to evacuate. Others had to shelter in place. The Sheriff's Office says they arrested that man less than an hour later.
There's no danger to the public. This was wrapped up relatively quickly. Super proud of all the response from law enforcement and our fire partners, as well as the people that were in the hotel for taking the initiative to evacuate or to shelter in place.
Colorado State Patrol and Morrison Police were also on the scene helping.
Right now, police are looking for a man accused of stealing thousands of dollars worth of jewelry from 2 stores in Longmont. Police up in northern Colorado said he walked into a jewelry store on Main Street in Longmont last week, asked to see about 5 necklaces from a display case, then asked for a few more. When the employee was bending down to get those other necklaces, the man snatched the first set and ran off. They're worth more than $10,000. Police said he did the same thing at Classic Gold, also on Main Street earlier. Police say he took off in a Jeep Wrangler with no plates. If you know anything, you're asked to call Longmont Police.
Nearly 3 years after the shooting at the Table Mesa King Soopers in Boulder, the families of the victims say they want answers about the money donated after the shooting. Hundreds of thousands of dollars is still being held by one group, the Colorado Healing Fund. In total, it raised more than $4 million to support the victims' families. The Colorado Healing Fund's last report is from 7 months ago, and it shows that more than $600,000 has not been handed out yet.
So essentially, you're using all of these victims' names and likenesses to secure donations, and then you're deciding where it goes, how it goes, when it goes, you know, and with zero input from the victims' families. It hinders the grieving process because it brings it all back to the forefront.
They also say that they are trying to get lawmakers, including the governor, involved, asking for more oversight. We did call and email the Colorado Healing Fund to ask about this, but have not heard back yet. Now, families of the victims have been waiting years for the shooter to go to trial.
Yeah, he pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, but court delays keep pushing the trial back. Before he can go to trial, he has to do a competency evaluation at the Colorado Mental Health Institute in Pueblo. Evaluators say they could get it done by March. If that happens, the trial could start in August.
A group of Democratic lawmakers in Colorado is pushing to ban the term excited delirium from police and coroner's reports. An ongoing 9 News investigation has tied that term to more than 225 deaths across the U.S. That includes several in Colorado, like the death of Elijah McClain. All but 7 of those deaths happened during or after restraint from law enforcement. Critics say that it's not a real condition and it becomes a convenient excuse when someone dies in law enforcement custody. In December, the board that sets standards for officers in Colorado voted to remove the term excited delirium from all police training. The new bill filed this month could ban coroners and first responders from using that term in the future.
6 Colorado voters who want Trump off the state primary ballot are now urging the U.S. Supreme Court to rule on the case quickly. Lawyers for the voters filed a new brief laying out parts of their arguments. The document says former President Donald Trump intentionally organized a violent mob to attack the Capitol and to prevent electors from casting and counting votes against him. The case centers around part of the 14th Amendment, which says anyone who has engaged in insurrection cannot hold federal office. Justices will have to decide whether that actually applies to Trump. The Supreme Court is hearing oral arguments in less than 2 weeks on February 8th. Colorado's ballot ruling is on hold while the Supreme Court hears the case, meaning that Trump will be on the ballot for the Republican primary on March 5th.
New overnight, the UN has now fired 12 aid workers who are now accused of their involvement in the initial October 7th attack in Israel by Hamas. The UN secretary said that he was horrified by the allegations and that those found to be involved would be referred for potential criminal prosecution. Now, several countries, including the U.S., are suspending funding to the UN Relief and Works Agency. That's an agency that employs about 13,000 Palestinians and runs schools, shelters, and gives out aid across Gaza.
Time is 7:07 on this Saturday morning, and for the first time in weeks, Boeing 737 MAX 9 planes are back in the skies. The first one flew from Seattle to San Diego. The FAA grounded the planes for extra inspections after a door plug came off an Alaska Airlines flight mid-flight a couple of weeks ago. Now, during that first flight back, Alaska Airlines COO sat in the seat right next to the door plug to show people that he felt safe on the planes. The FAA says it wouldn't have allowed the plane to fly if it wasn't safe. Alaska Airlines plans to have all of its 737 MAX 9 planes flying again by this week. The week after next, I should say. The United planes for the 737 MAX 9s will start flying some of theirs again tomorrow.